Hi guys, I hope everyone is having a great Sunday so far. The sun's not out, so it's still warm inside the flat. Max is fast asleep, curled up on the chair on his cushion. I'm going through the newspapers today. I've got the Sun on Sunday and I've also got the Mail on Sunday. The world is such a nasty place at the moment. I mean, I look after myself. That's all I can do, and keep away from. Well, I'm just keeping myself safe, really. So, this is a piece in the Fabulous magazine on Sunday. Now, I've done a piece on Tattlelife, where a group of, I think, upper class trolls. Well, in my case, I believe they were upper class trolls mocking people, social media influencers. I wouldn't say I was a social media influencer. I've had a YouTube channel since 2009 on and off, and I've had a couple of TikTok channels over the years as well. And the internet really began for me in 2001 and 2 when I got access to the internet, and it was like through I had a telephone, an Amsurf telephone, which had very basic access to the internet, and that's where my nightmare began. Because I was a young woman. I have kids, and there are paedophiles, and God knows what lurking in the internet. But when the internet first came out, people didn't realise that there were paedophiles lurking in the internet, and it was a place where paedophiles looked for women with children, vulnerable, so that they could interfere in their life and their children's. So I was naive. I was dumb, if you like, to the world of paedophilia and online trolls, because I'd been bullied at school, but face to face, and I didn't know anything about online grooming, paedophiles after children, anything like that. I didn't know anything about it. The first thing I knew about paedophiles when I was a 7-year-old schoolgirl, and the teachers told us to be careful. There was white vans hovering around and kidnapping kids. So I was about 34 when I started using the internet. So that's 22 years ago, and I was not very wise as to predators on the internet, and I got stalked, I got made fun of. There was this evil person or group of people that were absolutely destroying my life and making it a misery, and I would say that I felt suicidal, but I didn't actually do anything. I felt terrible. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was one of these people that got caught in men getting hold of photographs and blackmailing you. And I didn't know what to do about it. 22 years on, I am still being harassed, stalked, and mistreated by unknown persons pestering me for pictures online. Nearly almost every single day, and if I don't give them pictures, they start getting violently aggressive and things happen to me. I've been to the police about it. The police do nothing. which has been going on for over 20 years now. So one of the latest things that happened to me, I do believe they're stuck up. I believe they're poosh. They live a damn sight better life than I do. Anyway, probably from extorting money from vulnerable victims like myself. So somebody told me that Tattlelife had done a piece on me on the internet, Tattlelife. And I'm talking about serious things as sexual abuse, domestic violence, and they were making fun out of my childhood abuse, like being the rape that I'd suffered as well. They were belittling it, making fun of it, calling me names and making fun of me. Now, Tattlelife, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people watched it. People were making comments underneath it and making fun of me. And I had to go outside after I'd read it all. And I felt humiliated. I felt terrible. But I held my head up high and I reported it to the police. Not only that, there was a piece on Tattlelife where they were betting on celebrities dying. And Liam Payne had died in a most horrific way at the age of 31. And I tried to report this all to the police. The serious nature, and obviously nobody believes me. I'm just a common woman, you know, I'm just a member of the public, that I've come across this evil shit on the internet. And they were betting on celebrities passing away, and they were laughing at like Clint Eastwood, like he's like, you know, he's gonna we'll bet pennies on him because he's old and he's gonna die soon anyway. They were talking like that. And the younger the celebrity was, the more money they bet on this person dying. And the police don't take anything that I say ever seriously. They don't. They just think I'm a stupid twat talking nonsense. But in 2008, I was almost murdered. And I believe for a snuff movie. I believe I was poisoned and I was left for dead on the floor. And this all stems from this evil shit in the internet. Right? Where they bet, they do things, they abduct kids, they do all sorts of bad things on the internet, right? And I believe that, well, I'm telling you to this day, I believe that every residence I've lived in has had cameras in and audio equipment, and they've been watching me and my kids suffer. Fortunately now my kids are grown up, they're adults, they've got their own lives, but I do believe that there are cameras in my flat and audio bugs. And I don't care how many people think I'm paranoid. Can you explain to me when I call the police they do nothing, when it's a serious nature as that I've been raped, allegedly, sexually assaulted, beaten and left for dead, they do nothing. Okay, that's one thing that's a bit iffy. And then giving me phone numbers for helplines that don't work, silly people on the phone, being stupid and not helping me when I need real help. So Tattlelife, a site that puts me on the internet making fun of child abuse, sexual assault and rape, which is nothing, it's not funny. There's big pieces on this now, and I reported it to the police last year. So Tattle Trolls Made Me Suicidal is in the Sun. Now, I've done pieces on Tattlelife. Unfortunately for me, they won't allow me to be in a magazine on the television because I'm not beautiful. I have a face that's been beaten, a face that has been savaged by domestic violence. I'm not your typical, beautiful person. So I'm never going to go into a magazine or on the TV because the stereotypical pretty person with perfect features is what everybody wants. They don't want to see a domestic violence face. They want to see beauty. And unfortunately, I was a beautiful child. I had beautiful blonde hair. I had beautiful straight teeth, but my father beat me. And I never fit into that category of beautiful. And however much you fucking mock me, laugh at me, you don't like to stare truth in the face. You like fantasy. You like fucking glorification. You like everything beautiful. And unfortunately, it's not like that. And while the world hides child rape, child molestation, incest, and all evil things like that, and allowing people to take drugs and all that kind of thing, it's not going to stop, is it? Katie Hayes, 33, the number of the Freemasons, 33. Lola Young sings about 33 in her songs, which is a Freemasonic number. 33, the number of the Freemasons. Katie Hayes, 33, is a makeup artist and influencer. She lives in the Wirral with fiancé Matt, 35, and their daughters Olive, 4, and Berry, 1. Lying in bed, exhausted from sobbing, a dark thought crossed my mind. Perhaps the only way to stop the emotional pain caused by online trolls was to end my life. Which is alarming, isn't it? It's alarming. It's frightening now to think back to the scary place I ended up in, the result of a campaign of abuse against me by total strangers on the website Tattlelife. I've worked as a celebrity makeup artist for 15 years on shows such as Towie and Geordie Shore, and joined Instagram over a decade ago. Building up my following, I eventually became an influencer, working with various brands. I could never have predicted what would happen when I came to the attention of the users of Tattlelife, a website that allows anonymous commentary about public figures and has been described as the most hate-filled corner of the web. Now that is what my name, Crystal Marshall, landed on. And I, to my knowledge, am not a famous celebrity at all. I'm just an ordinary member of the public blogging my life. In 2020, not long after I'd suffered a miscarriage, a friend told me I was being discussed on the site. I was horrified. There were hundreds of comments ridiculing my looks, questioning my integrity as a businesswoman, and even mocking my partner and family. Over the next 6 months, every time I dared to look, I'd find new hateful comments. That I was fat or dishonest, that my partner Matt was cheating on me, and my family members were ugly. The abuse was constant. My address, phone number and car registration were posted online. Yep, they post that my address was posted online. I got takeaways delivered to my address, not paid for. So they leaked my address out as well. The police didn't do anything. I stopped the takeaways coming to my address because I started posting the men that were coming to my flat and swearing at me, I posted them on Facebook, and then it stopped. So people were ordering takeaways, not paying for them, but there was 10 to 20, 30 of them over a period of 2 weeks, all late at night. And this guy swore at me, and I posted his face, his tattooed leg all over Facebook, and it stopped after that. I received abusive calls and hate letters telling me I didn't deserve to live. I changed my number and reported it to the police, who were supportive, but yeah, there was nothing they could do. I'd never suffered from anxiety or depression before, but I was experiencing both, to the point that in late 2020, I spent 3 weeks in bed and contemplated ending my life. Matt was terrified to leave me alone. Finding out I was pregnant with my daughter Olive saved me. I knew I had to climb out of the dark hole. In 2021, after she was born, Matt begged me to stop looking at the website. I should have been enjoying my baby, but instead I was reading the comments in tears. Like a lot of people targeted on the site, the trolls came after me in real life by contacting brands I was working with and pressuring them to drop me. Some stuck by me, but others didn't, and I lost thousands of pounds of work as a result. I also turned down lucrative opportunities because I knew that the bigger my public persona, the worse the abuse would become. It wasn't just my career they tried to destroy. In 2022, I was reported anonymously to social services by someone who claimed I was neglecting Olive, and early this year an RSPCA inspector turned up at our house after a report claimed we were mistreating our dog. I believe both complaints were made by online trolls, but thankfully the authorities could see there was no substance to them at all. My lowest moment was receiving an anonymous phone call threatening to harm Olive. This was one of around 50 reports I made to the police. I contemplated coming off social media and completely changing my career, but Matt and my family told me not to let the trolls win. My GP suggested antidepressants, but instead I turned to fitness and spirituality to find some mental peace. The birth of our second daughter, Berry, in 2024 gave me another reason to stay strong. Last month, when the news broke that entrepreneurs Neil and Donna Sands had unmasked the creator of Tattlelife as Sebastian Bond and won a £300,000 defamation case against the site after being subjected to countless abusive posts, I felt vindicated. Social media was flooded with influencers and celebrities speaking up about the impact Tattlelife had on them, so I knew I wasn't alone. I feel proud that despite 5 years of hell, I still have my career, my family is happy, and I found the strength to carry on. But enough is enough, and it's time for the trolls to have their platform of hate taken away once and for all. Tattlelife was launched in 2017. It's estimated Tattlelife has made up to £180,000 a year in revenue from advertising. So that is where the trolls that started targeting me came from. Tattlelife. They're also rife on TikTok, as we know. TikTok is full of them. They are making money out of people online by making fun of them and just making a mockery of them. And they tell you half the time it's, why don't you go to work? Why don't you have a job? And yet this poor woman's business was targeted. Ringing up people. The police. Well, they need to go to prison. Surely ringing ambulances, police and stuff like that is an imprisonable offence. They do, they target your family, they just... I live a solitary life. I went into the internet, this started for me in 2001 and 2, where they targeted me and my kids. They made me feel horrible about myself, that my life wasn't worth living. These people need locking up. You know, how many suicides of people like that caused? It needs to be taken seriously and done something. They need locking up for life. See you later.